United States history at a glance, a chronology of the most important happenings in United States history. Year unknown, successive waves of immigration from Asia over Bering Straits and by sea people the Americas. 6th century, the Toltecs moved down from the north into Mexico. Before 1,000 recorded voyages by Arabians, Irishmen, Welshmen, Chinese, Japanese, and Frenchmen to America. Leif Erikson landed in Vinland, Labrador, Newfoundland, and Nova Scotia, or Rhode Island, or Massachusetts. And Icelander Thorfinn Karl Svanini settled for 3 years in Vinland. 11th century, the Toltecs largely perished by drought, famine, pestilence. The remainder migrated into the Yucatan and Guatemala. 12th century, the Chichimecs spread over Mexico. About 1230, the Incas, or people of the sun, settled the Cusco Valley, Peru. The Aztecs moved to Mexico in 1325, founded Mexico City. 1426, Pachacutic Inca formed the Peruvian Empire. 1430, Mexican Empire consolidated under the Aztecs. 1453, the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople and soon closed the overland spice routes to the east. This sent Europe looking for an overseer route to the Spice Islands. 1486, Bartholomew Diaz, Portuguese, discovered the Cape of Good Hope, sailing towards the Spice Lands. 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I remember that rhyme. Christopher Columbus at Genesha, sailing under the Spanish flag, discovered America, landing on Wading Island in the Bahamas. 1493, Columbus discovered other West Indian islands on his second voyage. 1497, Cabot, an Italian sailor under the English flag, discovered Labrador. 1498, Vasco da Gama, Portuguese, sailed southward and eastward around Africa to India. This voyage of the Columbus in which South America was discovered. Amerigo Vespucci, a Florentine sailing for Portugal, explored Brazil. America was named for him. 1502, fourth voyage of Columbus to Central America. 1508, the Spaniards conquered and settled Puerto Rico and Cuba. 1513, Balboa discovered the Pacific Ocean. Ponce de Leon landed in Florida in search of the Fountain of Youth. 1519 to 21, Hernando Cortez conquered Mexico. The expedition of Ferdinand Magellan, Portuguese, circumnavigated the globe from 1519 to 22 as well. 1524, Giovanni Verrazzano sailed under the French flag, discovered New York. 1526, Huayna Capac, the great Inca of Peru, died. 1529, Cabeza de Vaca traveled from Texas and Mexico to the Gulf of California. 1531 through 35, Pizarro conquered Peru. 1535, Pizarro founded Lima, Peru. Jacques Cartier sailed up the St. Lawrence River for France. United States history at a glance. 1539 through 42. Hernando de Soto traveled from Gulf, the Mississippi River, and died there. 1540 to 42, Hernando traveled northward from Texas. Woot woot! I'm born and raised in Texas, seeking the 7 cities of Cibola. 1542, Las Casas complained of Spanish treatment of the Indians. 1565, St. Augustine, Florida, settled by the Spaniards, the oldest existing white settlement in North America. 1583, Sir Humphrey Gilbert's expedition to Newfoundland which failed. 1584, Sir Walter Raleigh named the South Atlantic coastal regions Virginia after the Virginia Queen Elizabeth. 1585, Roanoke Island, North Carolina, settled by English. The settlements lasted 9 months, after which the settlers returned to England. Roanoke Island resettled. No trace of any of these colonists has ever been found. 1602, Captain Bartholomew Gonsold, English, landed in Massachusetts. 1607, Virginia settled at Jamestown by King James London Company under the leadership of the Captain John Smith. The Plymouth Company settled Maine. The colony lasted 1 year. 1608, Samuel de Champlain founded Quebec. 1609, de Champlain discovered Lake Champlain. Henry Hudson, an Englishman, sailed under the Dutch flag and sailed up to the Hudson River in the Half Moon as well in 1609. 1614, the Dutch planted a fort at Albany, New York. Also, John Smith explored New England for the Plymouth Company. 1619, wives and slaves arrived in Virginia. The House of Burgesses was founded. 1620, the Pilgrim Fathers landed at Plymouth Rock. 1624, Virginia became a royal province. 1624, the Dutch permanently settled the site of New York. 1630, the Puritans settled Massachusetts Bay. 1634, Lord Baltimore settled Maryland as a refugee for the Catholics. 1636, Roger Williams, driven out of Massachusetts, settled Rhode Island. 1636 as well, Connecticut settled the Puritans, was founded by Harford, Windsor, Westford. Harvard College was also established. 1638, New Haven settled by Puritans. And 1638 through 47, Swedish made 6 settlements in Delaware and New Jersey. In 1639, Connecticut drew up its fundamental orders, the first constitution drawn up on American soil. And also, Sir Ferdinand Georges made proprietor of Maine. 1640, the Bay Psalm book published the first book in America. 1643, the New England Confederation established, excluding Rhode Island. 1649, Maryland used a religious totalitarian act. 1651, First English Navigation Act against colonies by Cromwell's Parliament. 1656, the Dutch capture the Swedish settlements. 1656, Anne Hibbins hanged as a witch at Salem, Massachusetts. 1660, Virginia named the Old Dominion. 1664, New Amsterdam surrendered to the English under the Duke of York. 1670, North and South Carolina select. 1673, Marquette and Joliet sailed down the Mississippi to about Arkansas. 1675, Bacon's Rebellion in Virginia and King Philip's Indian War in New England. 1682, William Penn settled Pennsylvania. De La Salle sails down the Mississippi to its mouth. This is at about 9 minutes. I'm going to read the rest later.